This is true, and I can prove you believe in my God. But first, we have to define God. It's never beneficial for any party to a discussion to be conversing about unlike terms, right? If we're talking about apples, we need to both be talking about apples. If we're talking about sports, literature, art, groceries, anything, don't we need to be discussing the same thing and have the same reference if we want to really gain from that conversation and serve its purpose? Of course. So we have to have a common definition. So in order to discuss my God, we're going to use my definition. And it's really a borrowed definition because I get it from Jesus. Because when he was approached by someone who wished to call him good, how did he respond? He said, "Why do you call me good? Nobody is good but God." And in that statement, he distinguished the good from everything else, things seen and unseen. Everything was distinguished by this one phrase. Why do you call me good? No one is good but God. And in doing so, he defined God. Because if nothing but God can be good, then the good is God. God is good. And thereby he defined God. And I borrow that definition. So when I'm speaking to you about my God, I'm talking about the good. So what's the good? That's the beauty. We all know what good is. We all do. Anywhere you go, wherever there is reason, there is good. And we're conditioned from birth towards this good. We enter into the world with animal instincts, and from the split second of birth, without even knowing, a current, a force pushes us in one direction, and it's toward the good, while another force, our natural instinct, takes us to what we would call the bad. That's why children always need correction. There has to be set in them the right way to act. Don't hit. Don't spit. Don't steal. Don't cheat. Don't lie. All these things we consider bad. And the natural instinct takes you, that animal instinct takes you to the bad. Whereas there's a different current, a different force that pushes in the other direction. That other direction is good. We all know what good is. Even those that do bad know what good is and know that what they did was bad and it wasn't good. And some even work themselves into a place where they don't even know how to do good anymore. But they still know what good is. So we all know what good is. Wherever there is reason, there is good. And Jesus gave us this definition in one phrase. And we struggle, and there's conflict in our world, and this age-old battle about God without really having any proper definition for God. So some will say, I don't believe in God. I do believe in God. Your God wouldn't do this. Your God wouldn't do that. But who's defined God? Do we even have the same point of reference? How do we know who's right? Don't we have to start with the definition? So for me, you have my definition. And it is the good. The good in this world. Holding the door open for somebody. That is good. That is God. A smile, a handshake, a word of encouragement, a pat on the back. Not in some mighty act of valor, some deed of miracle. Those are the miracles. You never know how you're going to impact somebody and what kind of day they're having and what state of mind they're in when you smile or say hello. You don't know how that's going to change them. You very well might have just saved their life. Make those kind of choices. Make those choices toward the good. And you have shown an act of God. God is invisible. Your neighbor can't see God, but your neighbor can see you. And you can be like God to them through your good. And that's my definition. Not to say that you have to agree with how you feel about God, or without respect to what one would consider good and another would consider good. The premise is simple. Do you believe that there is good in this world? If the answer is yes, then you believe in my God. I can prove you believe in my good. I can prove you believe in my God. It's the good. It's the feeling you get when you hug your children. It's the feeling that you get when you help somebody that really needs help. It's that feeling you get when you complete a difficult task, a task that you may even thought was impossible. It's that feeling. So it doesn't matter what name we use. We all know that feeling. We all know the difference in this world between a good thing and a bad thing. Words aside, we know the good. So according to Jesus, you also know God. And you believe in God. Do you believe in good? Of course you do. And you believe in God. But isn't it me doing these things? Isn't it me helping somebody who really needs to be helped? Well, do you remember your first instincts out of the womb? Those animal instincts that took you on that other current? That's you. The good is God. So doesn't that mean that the good is in me? Doesn't that mean that God is also in you?